Yo, how we doing? What's up, guys? It's Chase, the Stock Sherpa, here for you. Announcements today, a couple announcements. We got a new Sherpa'S List out on the website, so everbullish.com, hit it up. That's what I'm going to go over today. It's also the last trading day of the month, and this week is the first trading week of July, that is. So I figured I'd go over anything that I read this morning. This is the Stock Trader's Almanac. If you don't have one, get one, buy one from my link below. It'll give me a couple pennies. More importantly, it'll give you the ability to make a lot of pennies. Neat little piece of thing to note here from the Almanac today. The last day of Q2, bearish down. So the last day of the second quarter of the year, which is today, down 17 of the last 30 periods. It's up today, so that's good. We're breaking a weird trend there. I mean, that's not a huge trend, but it's neat to note. So that's something to be optimistic about. But 8 of the last 10. So over the last 30 years, it has not been the best up day. It has been just above average on being negative. Today, it is up. And that continues with the recent trend, or the more myopic trend of the last 8 years. It's been up out of the last 10 years. So hope I said that in a somewhat coherent way. Remember, I'm a trader. I'm not a public speaker. It's been bullish for the NASDAQ, though, up 21 out of the last 29. So here we are. We're going to make that 22. Last I checked, the NASDAQ was up a tiny bit. It rallied after the morning. So anyway, that's the Stock Trader's Almanac. I'm kind of getting tired of having to tell you guys, but I'm not going to stop, and I still have to remind myself that's what this is all about. What else? Yeah, we've been crushing it as usual. Another week of already gaining the nut that I'm looking for in the first day. It's Wednesday. I'm only holding on to a couple positions. And the gamble paid off in Riot and Mara, as you guys all saw, and Bitcoin and Ether in general. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Don't want to take up too much of your time. So just hitting you with nothing but facts. Let's get to it. So Sherpa'S List. This is what I'm trading. This is what's walking around in my pocket all the time. I'm not necessarily trading everything on here, but this is what it looks like. This is what you should be looking at as well if you want to get the results that I'm getting. So we're going to go to the post. It's the most recent, everbullish.com. Click on Sherpa'S List. I don't know if you can hear my huskies howling in the background, but they are. They're howling too. They're happy about our return. First off, Chase McFeeders, Chase at Everbullish, the Stock Sherpa on YouTube, the portfolio manager, the guru, the best to ever do it. I put this list up. You can see the timestamp on it and when it came out. So we're just going to go over the positions individually. I got my iPad here too, in case we need to look at anything. And also, thank you for all the feedback. Thank you for the contributions on the website in the form of a cup of coffee. Thank you for the recent portfolio purchases as well. Let's keep this shit going. I want to keep this information coming, and we got to find a way to make it worth the time. So thank you all. All right, UWMC, we've talked about this a lot. Low interest rate environment, discussion about interest rates going up. Here in about 3 weeks already, we're going to have another Fed meeting, so we're going to have to figure out a way around that. My theory is that the Fed's obviously going to have a soft landing. They're going to hit us with quite a bit of information about whether or not they're going to raise rates. I still don't think a rate raise is coming in the form of the Fed funds. I think that it's going to be more of trying to raise the target, which has an impact on the amount of available cash on the banks, on overnight loans, and also the money supply in general. It's also a what they call a hawkish approach, which means that it could cause some volatility. In the meantime, I want to get in because I think what's going to happen is with UWMC mortgages, financing and lending and micro lending in general, mega lending all the way down to micro lending, I think that there's going to be a little bit of a comeback, awaiting the Fed meeting, and then it's going to come back down. So we got 3 weeks to trade these things. So UWMC is on my list. Ride, this is the one we've talked enough about. It's got to be on there for a big down day. If it's down 12%, I'm going to look at buying it the next day with maybe half the amount that I allot to that trade, and then if it's down again, I'll buy more. And I'll probably buy an option on it if it's down again. Go EV, this one's been up, this one's been down. That's the volatility we like to trade. You know what it is. That's Canoe. It's going to have its day in the sun, much like a rival. We'll get to that in a second. EOG up again. Sorry, not sorry. This has been such a winner for all you guys and for myself. More of a slow speed play for anybody out there that is not necessarily up to the kind of massive level of risk that I like to take. So a little bit better for a medium speed, slow speed play. It's got a good dividend too. I've talked about it before. It's got great assets. EOG, fun fact, former Enron Oil and Gas, that's what EOG stands for. ERX, the 3-time leverage on the mega cap energy sector. We're up again. I know that you guys are developing the pattern on how to trade these. Feel free to continue to trade that one. And congrats if you've been getting a little bit of the intuition that I've developed from having traded this for so long and understanding these 3 times levered. FANG, cool name. Never underestimate a stock with a cool name. Also pretty cool returns. CPE, same name, same game, same thing. CPE continues to crush it. It's going to continue to make money. I'm going to continue to let it. This is a beauty. Goldman, that's an interest rate play, up or down. Goldman's going to make money, particularly if there's bad news when it comes to the raising of the interest rates. I think Goldman's going to really capitalize there, and I think banks are still undervalued. FAS is a continuation of that play, but not just putting it to Goldman and getting more leverage. So FAS is the 3 times on the bank we've talked about. I got some bulls out there, you know who you are, that have been really cashing in on the strategy of using these 3 times levered, particularly in the banks, because they understand what I'm saying about interest rates and their correlations to what happens in the market, where the dumb money goes, where the scared money goes. So FAS is one that I'm continuing to use in the portfolio, or I shouldn't even say portfolio, in my daily trading account as an engine, as a I won't call it a safe haven, but I'll call it a more reliable trade after I crush something like NVDA, or after I crush an options trade, after I crush Riot, Mara, you hear me? Bitcoins, Ethers. Okay, let's move on. NVIDIA, told you I was going to do it, I did it. It's going to continue to go up, you should too. NVIDIA is one that I'm comfortable for anybody holding and not trading, but why not keep improving your strategy by picking up the difference in your sells at the end of the day and then your trades in the morning. And that's easy to do with NVIDIA as well as all these stocks. AMAT, Applied Materials, same thing. Notice it's a little bit contrarian. NVIDIA was down when I printed this. I don't know if it's coming back up. It's only about 40 minutes later that I'm making this video. FinTech Acquisition Corp, it's a SPAC. It's got high velocity. All of you guys out there who are trading it know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not in it now. I'll be getting back in it soon, and I'll tell you when if I can. But be your own daddy on this one. Understand how it works. Understand that eToro is going to be a big time market mover. I think it's going to do very well in its IPO. And this is the company that's financing that, so understand that. So the next 3 we got here is MicroStrategy, tech company that really buys almost nothing but Bitcoin every single dip. Very Kathy Wood-like. Michael Saylor, Bitcoin kind of guru. He runs this company. This one has been a great buy. This has been a great dip trade. This is going to be a great swing trade. It's not a great long-term hold. There's other things I'd rather own, like GBTC for that. But while I'm at it, why not pick up the miners and pick up the ancillary aspects of a positive outlook on Bitcoin, especially up until the 21st of this month. Like I talked about in my Sunday recap, I'm giving it to you guys. Say thanks for the cup of coffee. Give me a pat on the back in the comments. And, follow my stuff religiously, and you'll make a bunch of money while you're at it. You also learn, most importantly. All right, Ether, bullish right now. So this is already on here. This is just like wow, I noticed this while I was printing it. So Ethereum, just the trust itself, which is the Grayscale ETHE. Ethereum trust was up, somewhere around 20-22% at the end of the day yesterday. It was even up this morning more. It's pulled back. If it goes down any more, I'm going to buy some, whether it's today. It's down 5% today. If it drops much more, I'll buy some. Riot, no fear. This is a Bitcoin play. This is a dumb money play, which I love. So we've got a lot of people that call themselves you know, I don't even want to use the lingo for it, but there's just a lot of people that are like, I'm going to ride with this stock forever, you know, like it's your dad or something. Well, I'm glad that you're doing that, because I'm just going to keep trading it like a trader does. Same thing with Marathon. I think Marathon actually may have a little bit more to run on that. And I told you SOS is a total piece of shit. Don't own it, don't buy it, don't trade it. It's just too easy to get better bang for your buck elsewhere. Okay, Compass Pathways. This was a lucky one. This was one that, you know, we decided to go to, but for the actual societal effects of it, the Peter Lynch effects of it, the application effects of it, and I'm bullish on biotech. It's kind of a biotech. It's a psychedelic stock. It's a drug stock. It's a play on kind of the liberalization of drug laws in America, as well as the advancement in medical technology for people with depression. How can you not love that? If that's ever impacted you, you can feel more convicted even if you were to lose money on this. We're not here to lose money on it. That's just another ancillary benefit. You know, I put this on the list at 30 or 32. I don't even remember. It was 2 weeks ago. It's up at 37. So you're welcome on that one. I know I got some guys that have said thank you for that one too. UWMCWT, this goes back to that correlation. I always have these both on the list. I've mentioned before, anytime that the warrants get drastically underpriced of roughly 1/3 the price of the stock, I'll go ahead and buy that. It's a good rule of thumb, regardless of what else is said out there. ABBV, we all know ABBV. This is the pharmaceutical arm, in a way, of Abbott Labs. They make everything from protein powder to, I believe, vaccines, right? So if you look at their chart, I don't feel like pulling it up right now and switching all my cords over, but if you look at their chart, ABBV is a good one. It's also got a 4.8% dividend yield. I had my dad buy it the other day just for his dividend portfolio. So it's also in the Ever Bullish dividend portfolio. So not only is it good now, it's good when I told you it was going to be good at the beginning of the year, which is a good reason for people to buy that as a suggested list of stocks, as are all my portfolios. All right, so this is just the second page. What did I write here? Next page added several stocks as well. Still bullish on the above, considering UWMC for scalping. Riot, Mara, Edit. You'll see that one in a second for daily trading. Getting in on down days and riding the pop. That's what trading is. Bullish on Affirm. That's a new one I've added to the list. Shout out Nikki. My buddy Nikki recommended that one to me. I started doing some more diligence, and it's a crusher. So thank you, Nikki. As well as so bullish on Affirm, as well as the financing component that is too easy in the current market not to do. I don't need to do a ton of research on Affirm. I haven't done a ton of research. I like what the chart looks like. Go check out the chart. I've also got, so Affirm is just bullish. Like, people are borrowing for nothing right now. Banks are borrowing for nothing right now. Money is free right now. So if they can charge you 1% for financing a purchase on Amazon, when rates go up, they're going to be allowed to charge you 12%. That's the leveraging effect in the way financing works. That's also, by the way, fun fact, that's what the Fed is doing right now to try to get out of their gigantic debt on their balance sheet. And it's going to work, whether the numbers are legit or not, sadly, but it works in real life and in real practice. The Fed doesn't necessarily always operate on real life. Okay, Novax, NVAX. Go look at the chart on this one. You got to start trading this one. This was another one that was recommended by somebody. It's already been on my list for a while, or on my, I should just kind of say my mental list for a while. The more people start telling me that I trust to take a look at a stock, the more I'll start looking at it. And this kind of goes back to the trading philosophy of only have a tight-knit group of a couple people that trade like you and that you perceive as smarter than you, or better at trading than you, or at least as good as you. And follow what they say, and then do your diligence, and then go ahead and make your trades. We have to be our own daddy here. I'll say it again. Okay, Arrival's going to have its day in the sun. Since you've been watching me, this has only been on the real list for over, maybe not even over a month, and we've already seen this go from 18 to 20, back to 14, all the way up to 23, 24, and then now it's back down to 15. So once it starts getting a little bit more ripe, we'll pull the trigger. Go ahead and make your own decisions on that one too. Edit. This is a beautiful story. I recommended this stock when it was $20 to a friend of mine. It got down to 18, and then it got down to like 13 or 14. Some friends stayed in, some didn't. One guy rode with me. This is back in my country club days, and I believe he still holds it. He held it at 70, and now it's at 53. So Edit is a genome editing company. It's a bunch of smart dudes from MIT that are doing a study that is now completely funded to edit out certain types of born in I shouldn't say inherited vices, but born in inherited problems. So people that have epilepsy, people that have certain types of degenerative and inherited diseases like heart disease, these guys are working on the genome to fix that. So when you think about these companies, think about what motivates people. Living longer motivates people. Do you think that the guys that are sitting in the pitch room that are being told to buy yet another high-tech company that they don't really understand, that involves pharmaceuticals and genes and all this other shit, think about what's going on in the back of their mind when they think, maybe I can help fund this company that seems to be doing it right, that may have a chance of completely eliminating the genes that cause cancer. All right, you know, not to get too heavy with you or hit you with you, but you got to understand what motivates people. Gene editing motivates people. I got a couple genes that I wouldn't mind being removed if we could go back in time, but we can't, so here we are. And one of those is not my encyclopedic knowledge of the market. Final one on here, PBCT, that's the People's United Financial Trust. That's a mid-cap, small-cap regional bank. Go ahead and look at the returns this year. It also has a dividend yield. This is a major play on everything I've already talked about when it comes to banks and finances. So that's what it is. This is going to make you some money. You got no doubt in my mind. It is the end of the week, so feel free to go ahead and show some appreciation in the form of a cup of coffee or the catching on and the buying of the Ever Bullish portfolios. That's absolutely 100% helping people kind of free themselves from the antiquated reliance on the former ways that the stock market and the finance markets worked for the average investor. They don't exist anymore. You shouldn't follow them anymore. You should buy things like newsletter information or just go on YouTube and find free shit. I haven't looked at any competitors because I don't really see anybody as a competitor. But I don't know that anybody out there is doing it better. If they are, go ahead and follow them too. These are some great ideas for you. I wanted to come at you quick. Chase Ever Bullish, the Stock Sherpa on YouTube. Check out everbullish.com. You should be using this as a daily resource. If you're not, then my efforts have gone in vain. But they're still helping me, so I'm going to keep it going. Also, a quick note, got some feedback on the quality of these videos. I want them to improve. I'm with you guys. I understand the sound's not great, but this is a kind of a risk and reward versus what my time is worth versus and what my mission is worth, quite honestly. I'm a trader. I think that these are more than adequate. I get that there's other ways that I could sex this up, but I do think it would lose some authenticity. So you are heard, all you guys, but also remember that I also need you to go to my website and drive some consistency there too. And that's where this information is, and that's for the real OGs. So just be a real OG. And you know, I do appreciate the feedback. One of these days, if this becomes something that is worth more of the time, then I'll certainly do that for you. But it can't get in the way of my trading or my day or my peacefulness, quite frankly. So anyway, I'm peaceful, I'm happy, I'm bullish. The dogs are howling downstairs. My returns are howling here upstairs. We got everbullish.com. We got the website. You got the Sherpa. What else do you need? Thanks again for all the cups of coffee. It's been a little bit of a trying period to get that to catch on, and it's catching on. So I really appreciate you, and you know who you are. So let's hit it with a little bit more energy. I know we're making great returns, and sometimes it's hard to just sit down and be humble. A little Kendrick for you on a Wednesday. All right, get out there, go make some money. Strap on the helmet, pick up the gun, start shooting. It's time to hunt. And oil industry is still crushing it. Nothing to worry about there. Go ahead and make those trades the way I taught you to. If you're concerned about anything else, I did give you a couple more long-term holds / just lower speed stocks for those that are interested. So getting wordy, getting out of here. AFG, LFG, LGR, let's get rich. Thanks for following Sherpa, baby.